than you. Trust me. I don't give a fuck what you do for a bitch. It ain't enough. Trust me, my nigga. Every once in a while, you meet an exceptional bitch. Remember, like in the movies, Django, the exceptional nigga.
Right.
Every once in a while, you might meet an exceptional woman who actually.
But the reason I know that you're guarded is because when I was in high school, I only dated drug dealers.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, that's where I was. I lived in South Central LA. That's what it was.
Wow. I would have never.
Donations. 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 Gifts. 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 More gifts. More gifts.
Peace and Black Power, family. Yo, I had to pull up on him like that. I dress like this on purpose. This is gonna be. They're gonna be like, "What's wrong? What is this ninja dressed as?" Like, what is this ninja dressed as? By the way, I'm not hiding my hair. Watch this. Hold on for a second, guys. I'm not hiding my hair. It's my shit. But the problem is, everything is so recognizable on me right now. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, somebody else found out about my channel. He said, I'm dressed like a pro. Exactly. This is like, I wanted to do that intro so bad. Peace and Black. The glasses I'm wearing. Because, dude, I still, look, some of these channels, I still see them. Some of those channels still pop up on my feed. And them people be so funny because they be dead ass serious. It'd be like in an empty ass room, right? Like I'm in right now, right? Well, this is the room that I practice. This is where I practice all my songs and all that, right? The speakers, right? This is where I do all my most of my studio work. Anyway, they'll be in an empty room like this, and they'll be dead ass serious too. They got the little they'll have their like kufi hat on, right? I'm trying to get one of those kufi hats. They have like their kufi hat on. They got their glasses on, like to make it seem like how serious they are. They're dressed in all black, like I'm in right now. But this is a robe. Obviously, this is a robe. Unfortunately, I have my my soccer jersey under here, right? But it literally shows the state in the city that I'm, so I can't do that. So right here, so they'll be a bastard. They'll be like this. They have their little serious glasses on. They got their hat. This is my athletic. This is what I wear for my soccer matches, though. Watch this. They got the hat on. They put the hat on like this, and they'd be dead serious. They'd be like, peace and Black Power, family. All praises be to the Most High. I cannot with my people sometimes, man. We funny. Niggas is funny, man. Niggas is funny, man. Throw this away. But anyway. Okay. But anyway. That joint be funny than a motherfucker, bro. But yeah, that's literally how they do it. This is literally how they do it. It's the funniest thing. My people are too funny with this. Oh, by the way, Pyro, let me show, since you in the chat, man, let me show you one of the funniest videos I've seen today. I'll say today. I'm not gonna say this week, but this is one of the funniest videos I've seen today. If I can open up Twitter, this is hilarious stuff. This is hilarious stuff that I saw today. It should be saved. It should be saved. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We saved it. So watch this. Watch this right here. Watch this right here. I'm gonna open it up for you. Okay, share screen. Let me open up Twitter. Man, this is the funniest video. This is based out of I can tell I didn't really do the research behind of like where this is being taken place, but when I'm hearing the language, oh my bad. While I'm hearing the language, this looks like this is taking place in Germany. Right? This looks like this is taking place in Germany. So here you have an alleged older snow bunny asking this Jamaican German. This is a Jamaican living in Germany. She's going to ask him, is my butt better than an African woman's butt? So this is one of the funniest videos I've seen today. So take a listen to this. This is funny.
Chapeau ist besser. Meiner oder der von Afrikaner?
Boah. Ey. Autsch. Dreh dich mal kurz. Ja, Bombo klar. Guck mal, ich will dir ehrlich sein.
Ja.
Ist es echt?
Oh, they playing music in the background. Let me chill. They playing music in the background.
Das fragt mich jeder. Ja, it's all natural.
All natural?
Yes.
Dreh dich nochmal. Lord have mercy. Jetzt gerade, dass ich vor dir stehe, ich würde sagen du.
Wow, danke.
Aber nur weil ich vor dir stehe. Wenn es halt auf Bild, ich will es nicht glauben. Aber du auf jeden Fall.
Ja, ich bin wirklich real. Du darfst mich auch mal anfassen. Ich bin real.
Yeah, it sounds like they're speaking German from my vantage point. Or maybe they're in Sweden. Could be Sweden. This could be Sweden, but from my vantage point, it sounds like they're speaking German. So here we got a Jamaican German and a older German snow bunny interaction. This is some funny stuff to me.
Ich bin real. Chapeau ist besser. Meiner oder
Man, Jamaicans never change, bro. Jamaicans are the same. Whatever country you put them in, they the same, man. Oh, man.
Boah. Ey. Autsch. Dreh dich mal kurz. Ja, Bombo klar.
Oh, man. I thought that was funny, man. I thought that was funny. That whole interaction was way too funny to me. I got to see that again.
Lord have mercy.
Oh, man. He says, turn around for me again. Lord have mercy. It's got to be either in Netherlands. They got to be in Netherlands or Germany. They got to be either in Netherlands or Germany. Has to be. But anyways, let me set the mood. Real quick. Because this is a very important show. This is an important show. And before I start getting into some topics and leading up, I just want to show you something real quick. I want to show you something interesting. I want to show you how far music travels when it comes to influence. I'm not even talking about women right now. I'm going to show you something, especially when you're talking about the community of hip hop, R&B, black music, how far the influence travels. Let me show you something real quick. Let me show y'all something very, very, very powerful. I'm going to show you a video. Let me share this tab with you. Share this tab with you real quick. I'm going to play you guys a 4-minute clip. I might have to speed it up a little bit, but let me show you this.
It's like breathing. Simple shit. Every day they keep on wanting to hear our shit, dog. He said, I got tired of hearing y'all shit. He said, I didn't even realize y'all shit roll like that. He said, until I heard all the songs back to back. He said, I was like, oh shit. He said, I didn't really know that they was dope like that. So he said, it surprised me too. He said, them niggas feeling y'all, man. He said, y'all niggas out of here. So he said, he gonna make sure ain't nothing wrong with talking son.
Okay. These 3 ninjas that you see, right? Sorry. Oh yeah, well, it became 3 ninjas, but the 2 ninjas that you see. This is Static Major and let me see if I can bring him back. Smoke Diggler. Now, obviously, most people might not. People that are not like into music like that might not know who these people are, but they were part of a group called Playa, right? Let me see if I can bring up the music group. They had dropped a hit song in, I think, 1998, that many people know about, right? Okay. Playa, this is the group. Now, what people don't know is these individuals here, right? These individuals here, specifically these 2 up top. Yep, they were in their early 20s. Yep, in that clip that I showed you. What people don't know about these 2 individuals, the music scene that you see in 2011, 2000s, I know they were just artists, but when you look at the stuff they've made, the artists that they've written for, the artists that they have made famous off of writing for them, making music for them, there would basically be no R&B scene without these 2. The artists, a lot of the music that you hear today is because of those 2 individuals, because of people stealing the style, the influence. Particularly when you're talking about I'm talking about the 2000s music scene. The 2000s music scene, 2010s music scene, and 2020s music scene. Timbaland used to work with these individuals. Static Major helped heavily. When I'm talking about Static Major, I'm talking about the ninja in the headband. He helped majorly with Aaliyah's success doing background vocals for her. I'm gonna show you this video though. Let me show you this video. Right here. I'm gonna show you a clip. This is Smoke on the piano. This is Smoke on the piano and Static Major. This is them working on a song, right? It wasn't done yet. The song was never really officially released. Smoke ended up releasing it in like 2010, 2009-ish, but it was never released because it was supposed to be his song, right? This excerpt that you're about to hear is just a sample. This is just them basically fooling around in the studio with the concept. I'm gonna play a little bit of it. So obviously I sped it up. So if you guys want to watch that full excerpt, now I know people gonna say this is just a clip, right? That clip has been sampled in many songs. Many songs. Most famously, Drake's Take Care album. If you go on Drake Take Care's album, I think the song is called if I'm not mistaken. Oh, let me see if I can remember the song. Oh yeah, Look What You Done. That's what the song. I don't know why I was blanking on it. The song was called Look What You Done by Drake. Drake sampled this song. Let me see how many millions of views. He in the sampled song, the producer that Drake was using, I think his name is Chasing Cash. He basically just took this, he just put a drum beat behind it. That's how the song was made. I kid you not. I swear on everything. He literally put the beat behind it. And if you look at the song Drake, Look What You Done, obviously millions of views, probably billions of views, right? If you're looking at like just the total accumulation of actual listeners and whatnot. Now, when you talk about influence, the Drake Take Care album, that I've already talked about the influence of the Drake Take Care album, of how just that sound, that ambient, drowsy, paddy type, and how that basically influenced a generation. Drake took many concepts from that group. Many concepts. He's taken from many, obviously, other groups, but he's taken many concepts from that, right? Now, watch this. He said from YouTube, from Apple Music, and the other music platforms. I don't even know if Smoke E. Diggler even got a penny from sampling from that sample. But anyways, mind you, that group, they've worked with Tank, they've worked with Timbaland, Genuine, Aaliyah, basically all of your favorite R&B 90s stars, early 2000 stars. Those that group, that duo that I showed you, they've worked with all of these artists. I'm not talking about when they were famous. They worked with those artists when they were coming up. I'm not talking about, they just collaborated when they became famous. No. Player was famous first before those other people that I mentioned, right? Tank, was it all these? The Devontae Swings, all these people. You know what I mean? And if I'm not mistaken, I think Static Major did Lil Wayne's Lollipop song. If I'm not mistaken, I think Static Major, the dark skinned ninja with the braids that you saw, right? I'm pretty sure he did Lil Wayne's Lollipop song, and it was like right after he wrote and produced that song for Lil Wayne. It was like right after he produced it, he died. It's crazy work. He had some heart problems, and he went into the surgery, and he never returned. Right? But the influence of that, do you know? And watch this. Let me make it personal. That clip that I just showed you, of the of Smoke E. Diggler playing the piano, right? Let me see if I can bring it back up. That clip that I just showed you right here. Do you know? Let me put it back on me. Take my glasses off. Do you know how many hoes I bagged by copying that progression? and playing that, I can prove it to you. I can prove it to you. I can prove it to you. I'm going to show you. Let me show you the clip without it being altered. I'm going to show you the piano clip without it being altered. Let me show you the clip without it being altered. Right here. Okay. Now, if you search hard enough on my channel, right? If you search hard enough on my channel, you're going to see this video. Me playing the exact same thing. Watch this. Right? Let me see if I can put it on normal. Here we go. So this is me playing it, right? Now, when I learned that progression, I think it was it was like exactly when the album came out, if I'm not mistaken. When I think let me see. It's when Drake had the Look What You Done song, and then I think my cousin wanted me to play it, and then I learned it at that point. I think I had learned it and then I forgot about it, and then I did it again, right? So I used to use that song or that progression for if I were to go into a studio and they wanted to see if I could play or not. I would use that. And I would easily win the hearts just like that. Just like that. Oh my God, how did you know that song? Do you know how many people wanted me to, because there's really, if you go on YouTube, there's really nobody that can if you go on YouTube, there's really no real tutorial for that progression. Many people have been looking for the tutorial for that progression. There's not really a tutorial for that progression. I figured it out, even though it's pretty simple to me because I have a decent ear, but it's a lot of, I'm talking about, there's people that they've been looking for the tutorial for that specific clip. Many pianists can't really recreate it because he's not using traditional chords, right? You have to be either a very skilled church musician to figure that one out, or you just need to have a good ear, right? Now, people are just going to say, I'm just showing off. I'm just showing you the influence. That's how I learned how to play. I'm not going to say specifically from that song, but that song was very influential in how I play today. Just learning that song. That's how I was able to find out about certain chords. That's how I was able to find out this was in the key of A flat. That's how people talk about how black piano players' favorite key is A flat. is because of that song or me copying that variance, right? I was able to figure all that shit out. Right. Mind you, a lot of these are church chords. A lot of these chords that he was using. Okay. I'll say this. There are piano players that I know now that are doing churches, right? That's how they learned off of YouTube, but specifically just learning through they would copy certain artists playing styles, and then they would just kind of figure it out from there. They didn't necessarily go to a school for it. They just figured it out, and then they learned by ear. Okay. And it's because of learning that song, I was basically able to figure everything else out. And I know many of other players, many of other instrumentalists, many other producers, they have the same story, right? When you look at the artists that we have today, a lot of people, that's their Static Major or any of his songs that he's done, the live performances with Playa. The way they would do things, the songs that Smokey Diggler has written and produced for many others, that's many people's standpoint, but they don't know it comes from him, right? Or specifically Smokey Diggler, the light-skinned person that you see on the piano, this guy right here. Okay. So let me see if I can put it up real quick. But a lot of people don't know that's where that influence comes from. So that's just me opening up about just influence. Right? Because and you know what's crazy is at first glance, people are gonna look at me like if I said something about an artist or if I have an opinion about this, if I have an opinion about that, that makes me a hater. But I'm literally just showing you this is was actually my default standpoint. This is where I started. My cousin would have his friends around, whatever, and when I was a kid, when I was in high school, and it would be like right after church service, and he would bring his boys, I'm talking about his dangerous friends, to some of the church services, and I would try to play some of these. I would try to fit in some of these songs during the during prayer and whatnot. And see if anybody noticed, or like after church is over, I would try to go on the keyboard and try to play some of these songs. And I remember like one of his people was like, dude, you play Diced Pineapples exactly how it sounds in the studio. They're like, where did you find this? I remember he was like talking to my cousin, like, where did you find this nigga? I'm like, no, that's my cousin. They're like, oh, okay. You know, that's usually the reaction I get when I go into the studio. They're like, where do you get this nigga? I'm like, nah, that's my cousin. Ah, good. That's usually the reaction I get, right? So that, like, just that being my origin standpoint, that literally saved me from not being a virgin. You know what I mean when I say that? Like, that saved me from not being a weirdo. The music. Without the music, first of all, without the music, I'd be broke. That's number one. Number two, I would just be a whatever. Just a whatever. I'd be nothing. Mind you, music isn't even my first love or my first passion, right? It's not even my first love or my first passion. Obviously, my first passion is soccer, but obviously that didn't work out. But I've always had that, you know, so I have to give credit where credit is due. So I always say this, people underestimate what music can do for you. What music, like the people that gravitate towards your music. I'm talking about people could literally look at you like you're nothing, and then until they hear you play, or they hear you produce something, or they realize you were behind the production of something, you did this kind of music or whatever, then it's something different. Pyro said my first passion was art, like drawing. That's also an underrated, like somebody that can draw, like that can actually draw. That's a skill. I know they got computers now that they can do, but there's no. It's always impressive when somebody can draw. I done seen some of the people that people be like, oh no, this guy's not. Then they see this ninja draw, like, oh, this nigga is serious. I'm talking about it'd be like gangsters. They find out they're looking at this kid like, what was he doing with this notebook? He ain't doing nothing with the notebook. Then the motherfuckers start drawing something real. Like somebody with some real skill start drawing. They be like, damn, this nigga artist, right? Artistry in general, it changes. It changes things. It changes the perspective. It changes everything. It changes it. That's just my opinion on that. Specifically when it comes to the music. Music is very powerful, very influential. Many of the stuff that you hear is from what I just showed you. I will say most of it. I'm not even gonna hold you. I think most of it. Many of the artists that I'm gonna show you, because I'm gonna show you basically the top 10 list of artists that are negatively influencing your girl or the girl that you're gonna take serious. The artists that I'm gonna show you, these are people that not only sing but have written for most of your favorite artists. They're that influential. And if you don't do your research, and this is why it's also important, you have to be careful where you're getting your music from. You got to be careful what you're listening to. This is why I don't listen to Drake. And people are like, but were you just talking about Drake right now? Exactly. Because when you listen to the lyrics, a lot of the female artists that I will list are going to be people that make good music, but I have to limit in terms of the intake of their music. I have to limit because it's music is like spells. The songs that they're singing, and then a lot of times the artists that you see, they didn't even write it. Right? So a lot of times we're just attacking the vessel or the conduit, but they didn't even make the message, right? They didn't even write the song, they didn't even write the lyrics. But nevertheless, this is what this show is going to be about today. The music for real. Pyro says, yes, I love music every time. Lessons, he says, okay, you said you wanted to take lessons. I just want to make some myself. And then with the tools that we have now, because you got FL Studios, you got Logic, you got Ableton, right? Those are the obvious one, Pro Tools and all these things. But now they have these engines online where you can just make the music online now. They have sample packs that you can use. So now even if you don't know anything about music, it's easier now to create what you want to create. You can now, your vision, even if you don't know a lick of music, you can now create your own reality, right? I'm working with this guy right now. He has like a perfect setup where he just has some automatic drums, so I don't have to really worry about beat making. I can just worry about just making the melody, and it makes life very easy. One day I will share the music that I've been making with this band that I'm proud to be a part of. We're actually making great music where I'm talking about where I can actually I can actually be like, hey, listen to this, and not be embarrassed because it's like an alternative R&B type, not really necessarily rap, even though we do have a rapper in the group that leads the group, but we have a couple of vocalists. But I was privileged to be a part of a track where we created it, and it literally took us like 5 minutes, and it was the first track that I was able to actually put an input into because I joined the band late. So we were finally able to I was finally able to really dial in and put my 2 cents in for a song that I basically, it was me and the bass player, we basically made the song. And that's not me tooting my own horn, but we basically made the song, and Broski did the lyrics to the song, and I think it's probably the best track we have. So one day I'll be brave enough to share some information about the band. I don't want too much of it to be out there, but I'm definitely proud of the music. I just wish that, you know what, maybe it depends. It depends. It depends. But I like it. I share the music that we make anytime I can. This is the only band, or sorry, this is the only group that's actually making, we're like the only group out here in the alternative side. We're not doing covers. You know what I mean? No disrespect, but we're not doing covers. We're literally doing all of our own songs. And it's dope. Damn near all the songs we make is dope. And the song we recently made together, I just think we're specifically where I was in charge of that one. Low key, it's a hit. But that's the music. That's just the music side of things. Now, there were some deals that fell through with the band, unfortunately. But I'll say this: the leader of our band, him, because we're all individual artists, we all have our own thing, anyways, right? So for like 3 of the vocalists, they're all individual artists. They have their own platforms. But our lead rapper, he was able to open up for Jadakiss, which was very powerful, which was really great. I think it was Jadakiss, and then the guitar player was able to set up a spot for the drummer to play for some very decent artists. So it's crazy. Like, I think individually we're we're getting to where we need to be. The group is getting decent reach. I'll say this though. Hopefully I don't get kicked out, because unfortunately I'm not, I can't always make it to every single practice. I do make it to every show, but unfortunately I'm a natural loner. So everybody in that group, they kind of have that connection, right? The only reason why I'm in the group is because the vocalists put me in the group, right? And they all love me. They all have their respects for me, but unfortunately I'm myself. I'm not that personable of a person. So hopefully I don't get, replaced. But this is a group that I do believe in. This is a group I do believe in. Now, moving on. But one day I will be brave enough to show you my group's Instagram page, because one day I'll but we've already been put out there nationally. on a national platform. We've already been put out there, but thankfully nobody's noticed me from there. You know what I mean? Thankfully nobody's put two and two together, but it's crazy where basically the smaller gigs that I've done, or with I remember I was working with a smaller band, just a regular smaller band, and then the vocalist from from that smaller band recognized me from the Sierra video that I made. I was I was like, oh hell no. Nah. You know what I mean? So hopefully, yeah, exactly. Yeah, luckily, I don't know. Because I done met, like, the problem is, I think, is because with the state that I'm living, I think when you're doing videos from a certain state, they try to circulate it within that state. I don't know how it works, but it's interesting the amount of people that have connected, or the people that have found my channel, and they say, oh yeah, I'm from this state too, right? I'm from whatever. So I don't know. I don't think that's a coincidence. And there's certain people that have recognized me from some of the videos. Hopefully not from the shorts, because I used to be wilding in my shorts. So you know what I mean? Yeah, they probably do it like Facebook. I don't know. I think they do. I think they do. So that's why I gotta chill out sometimes, and I'm gonna have to start wearing a hat, because my hairstyle is gonna be pretty. There's a certain hairstyle that I'm aiming for. This is obviously not the final product that you're seeing. There's a certain look that I'm going for that is gonna be pretty recognizable. So I might have to start wearing a hat soon. I got no choice. But anyways. Let me move on to some interesting stuff. Let me show you some real interesting stuff here. Let me show you guys something real quick. We're going to take a trip to Instagram. I saw some funny stuff on the Shade Room. I ain't even going to hold you. Let me see if I can bring up the video or the information. So right here. So let me see. I might have to Google it. Say court docs reveal PJ Washington. Okay. Might have to go from Complex News. Okay. Okay. If I'm reading from the headline here, it says PJ Washington ordered. Let me bring this up. Okay. It says PJ Washington ordered to pay Brittany Renner $5,500 monthly in child support, court docs show. Right. So this is what he's paying monthly to Brittany Renner. $5,500. So $5,500 a month in child support, and he had to give her a lump sum of $130,000. Now, for him, that's a W. Right? Like, that's a major W in his case. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he lives in a state where there's a cap on the amount of child support that somebody can get. So this is why, and this is also why you see Brittany Renner when basically Brittany Renner started going off the rails when she started going like mentally really going off the rails, it's because of this. Is because she thought she finessed PJ, and until she realized that they live in a state where there's a monthly cap on how much you can order on child support. So you can't just be like, oh yeah, I need $30,000 a month and 50,000. No, there's a cap. You can only go over. At the time though, it was like 2,500, but I think where he's at is like $5,000 a month is the max that you can get, right? So that's a dub for PJ Washington, and because PJ Washington has like, because when you talk about NBA players, even like the road players, I'm talking about the bench players be millionaires, dog. So that's a W for him. That's a drop in the bucket. $5,500 a month, and he already gave her $130,000 as a lump sum. That's a W. You know what I mean? Now for us, that's crazy because we don't make nothing close to we'll $5,000 a month in child support. That's crazy work for us normies, right? But for an NBA player, that's nothing. For an NBA player, that's nothing. And for a person like a Brittany Renner, that's an L for her because she thought she was going to be a millionaire, right? Off of a dummy. But this is why that's why I also say that I think that when you look at Brittany Renner's reactions, how she's been acting out on him, because even though he gets a pay raise, even though he gets an increase, he just recently signed a new contract. Even though he's getting more money and more money, since there's a cap on the child support, he doesn't have to pay he doesn't need to pay no more than $5,500 a month. So that's basically a drop in the bucket for him. You know? So right here, let me read this. So it seems like people finally got a hold of how much he needs to give Brittany Renner in child support. Right? It says NBA star PJ Washington has been ordered to pay Brittany Renner $5,500 a month in child support, according to new court documents. The filing obtained by TMZ Sports shows the Dallas Mavericks forward agreed to the payments as part of a consent order entered in Mecklenburg County, North Carolina in November 2024. Washington was also required to pay a lump sum of $130,000 to cover any and all existing child support accruing prior to the entry of this consent order, as well as Renner's attorney's fees. The paperwork resurfaced this month when Renner filed a notice in Los Angeles County Court allowing her to continue collecting in California. So she tried to file it in California so she can get some money. So this is where she went crazy, because she thought she was finna collect it in California. But since this took place in North Carolina has a child support cap. So that's why she was going crazy. So and mind you, the child support laws and custody laws, it varies state to state. And North Carolina is one of those states where you can't really finesse go digging 304s like a Brittany Renner. She can't really finesse how she wants to finesse, right? They said the official number squashes years of speculation that Washington was on the hook for massive sums, with rumors at one point pegging payments at $200,000 a month. Renner herself later told an interviewer that she received close to $2,500 per month. So yeah, because people found out that it was really $2,500 per month via Brittany Renner, because Brittany Renner was saying that she was only getting $2,500 a month. And that's because when you live in the state of North Carolina, that's the max child support money that the baby mother can steal from the father, right? But if this took place in California, he would be on the hook for like something like crazy, like $70,000 a month or $100,000 a month in child support, something crazy like that, right? Anyways, said Washington and Renner began dating in 2019, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, it looks like people finally got a hold of how much did PJ Washington really had to pay Brittany Renner. So the official number now is somewhere around $5,000 per month. Now, for us, that's crazy, but for him, that's nothing. And for Brittany Renner, that's part of the reason why Brittany Renner had her mental breakdown in the public eye, because she thought she was going to come up off of PJ Washington, and she's only getting, in her mind, she's only getting $5,000 a month in child support. So the child is basically worthless to Brittany. And like I said, and also you got to remember, Brittany, because she's divorced from Kevin Gates, she's living with her mother currently as we speak. She's living with her mom, and her mom has been helping her out, right, with babysitting, etc. Yeah, so those are the official numbers. Pyro said, I don't even make that much in a month, $3K at best without the side jobs. I don't even want to put the number that I make in a month, but yeah, $5,000 a month in child support, that's crazy. For me, I don't even nah. For me, that's nah. I'm not, first of all, I'm not like I said, say if I end up in a situation where I have to do child support, I'm not going to say I'd rather go to jail than pay it. But if you put me in a position where where my lump sum of money's got to go to you, and I basically have to ask permission from the woman to see my own kid, I got to ask permission to see my own seed, I'm just gonna abandon the kid. That's what I'm gonna do. What's the point? Just for him or her to say that I wasn't there enough, even though that could have easily been fixed, but because the mother put an order on you, you can't even see your kid like you want to, just for the kid to say you're not there. No, man, I ain't finna do all that. I'm just finna abandon both of y'all and I'm gonna just make another kid. I'm gonna just make enough. I'm gonna make another one that look just like me, and I'm gonna make sure him or her is living real good, and then you can just get my check. Good riddance. That's how we finna do it around here, and I would recommend most men do the same. Like DDG, people don't even understand what DDG doesn't understand. He's gonna have to go through that nonsense with that woman for the next 18 years. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Next 17 years. Next 18 years, 17 more years to go, right? Since didn't Halo just have her birthday? I don't know. His birthday, I don't know. The next 17 years, he's gonna have to go through that nonsense with that woman. The next 17 years. Shit. If I was DDG, I would wash my hands, and I'll just make another baby. Since you want to be a dad so bad, man, just make another one, and then have your bitch imported or something. Give that bitch a contract. Bitch, you gonna be a mother for 6 years, 7 years, and bitch, I'll replace you. Or just do surrogacy. Like these people, why don't people take a book from Cristiano Ronaldo? Just do surrogacy, and then you pay the bitch that you want to be with, and have her on salary, have her see how she does raising your kid, the kid that came from the other mother. See how she does with that, and based on her performance, okay, maybe I can give you a kid. All right, I'll give you one, and then do another kid from surrogacy, see how she do with that one, and then I'll give her a kid for good measure, one that she can keep. Right? That's how Cristiano Ronaldo, he's doing it like a G, and then have the bitch on a salary. But these dudes out here, they're trying to make things work with terrorists. Nah, not me, dog. Like if I had money, I would do surrogacy. But since I don't have the money, it ain't gonna be no kids happening no time soon. Right? He said 70K a month is the same. There's a lot because there's a lot of celebrities, particularly male celebrities, male basketball players, they gotta pay that. Because they messed up. You know what I mean? Pyro says that just tells you that these women don't care about their kids. Yeah. He said this woman will do nothing. He said Pyro is basically saying women will do anything but work. Yes, this is true. This is true. But yeah, if any woman trying to pull that BS on me, where she decides to keep one of my kids and then try to put a order on me, I'm like, bitch, just give me how much I owe, and I'm gonna just give you that a month, and I'm not doing nothing else because I'm not required to do anything else. Shoot, I might even sign my rights away. Now, if you sign your rights away, you still have to pay child support. But I've seen cases where dudes have. I'm looking at cases where dudes have signed their rights away because they just want to get away from the women so bad. Like they don't even care. They don't even care that they have to pay the child support. They just want to be away from the woman so bad. That's how like terrible some of these broads are out here with this nonsense. I might do that. Just sign my rights away and then just pay the monthly whatever. I'll do that. I'm not finna be going through all that stress and then ask for permission to see my own kid that I made. The fuck, I gotta ask you. I gotta have supervised visits to see my own kid, and I'm not a criminal. I didn't commit a crime. All I did was bring life, create a life. That's all I did. And now I gotta pay you to not see my kid. Hey, dude, man, please. I'm just gonna pay you to stay away. I'm gonna pay you so you leave me alone. How about that? And then don't come to me when the kid's 12 or 11 and 10 and you find the daughter being a prostitute, or you find the son being gay, or the son he grows up, he becomes bigger than you, he destroys the house. Now you want me to, nah, that's the kid is ruined. You keep your project. That got nothing to do with me. Don't bother me and my real family. Do not bother me and my real kids. Like Corey Holcomb said, your real kids are the kids that live with you. Those are your real kids. Hell nah. You keep that. That's what you create. I didn't create that. You did. Anyways. Oh man. Oh yeah. Oh, congratulations to also Kai Cenat. He got LeBron. So he got, as we speak, LeBron James is doing a stream on Kai Cenat's platform on Twitch. So shout out to Kai Cenat for getting that done. You know, shout out to him. Props to his success. Even though I'm more of me personally, I like Speed more. I like Speed. Speed is a lot more smarter than people give him credit for. Like Speed reminds, like, it's almost like with Speed, it's almost like somebody came to him, no homo, and came to him from a time machine and told him, look, just keep streaming, do this like this. It's like the way he moves It's like somebody from the future gave him the instructions on how to move. It's crazy to me. Let me show you something that just recently happened to Speed, which I found funny. A witch tries to get Speed. Yeah, there was some. There's a video out there where a witch tried to. He's been targeted by witches 2 times live on his stream. It's crazy work. This is crazy work. I'm about to show you. This is crazy work. He said, "Real kids, yeah, your real kids are the ones that live with you." That's Corey Holcomb's definition. I agree with that definition. Speed, yeah, Pyro says Speed is very respectful and honorable. Yep, I agree. But yeah, Speed has been targeted by witches 2 separate times live on stream. You got to see this. This is crazy work. Watch this.
Just last week, a witch tried to curse I Show Speed, and he escaped because he knew it was evil. Now, another witch just tried it again. Watch this.
This is actually.
Oh no, this is one instance. I'll still show you this. That's not the one I wanted to show you. I'm going to show you the first attempt.
Florida water is what's used in voodoo to clear you up. So you spray the back of your neck, and then
No. You right.
Listen, the spiritual world is very real. I Show Speed might not be living right, but he still has discernment.
Let me see if it was this one right here.
And with these crystals, they do a lot of work for me and for you. The only thing you have to do is just to be open and see.
I gotta find like the actual. They kind of like they condensed it. Oh yeah, right here.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I've been following Speed. I Show Speed for a while. He's been doing a live stream 24 hours. And I think it's like 10 days right now, but it's supposed to be for 34 days. But one of the streams I saw, he meets the witch. And dude, am I the only one that found that very, very like weird?
I'm not a handshaker. Bring it in, baby. Yes. I know you've been having a day. Good day.
Yes.
Welcome. Now is the time to have a little woosah.
Yes.
Just relax a little bit with life doula, intuitive, and we're going to get your chakras balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a special reading that I do where all you need to do,
So I found the real video. Watch this. Here we go. I Show Speed frightened after having an encounter with the witch on stream. So right here, I think they're going to show it here.
particular type of crystal, which is, I work with crystals, and I work with a particular type of crystal, which is this one called the Andara. Actually, I'm going to give you a little one to hold. They come from very few regions of the world. These here are particularly from California, but I have also some from the motherland, from the Congo. And with these crystals, they do a lot of work for me and for you. The only thing you have to do is just to be open and say yes.
Okay.
And as we
This is where Speed's Spidey senses started tingling.
work together, as we co-create this experience, they will do the work that needs to be done on you.
Okay.
You have to say yes.
All right.
Because we have free will,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Have you ever had a reading before?
Yes. No, I haven't.
So they gave you a surprise today, right?
Yeah, like I'm
Yes.
kind of scared.
Do I look scary?
No, it's just like
Okay, so that's the first.
wait. I wasn't completely honest.
Okay.
Completely honest.
Okay, talk to me.
You don't look scary, but nah, you kind of do.
Okay.
But then he pulls something funny. Hold on for a sec.
So what you're gonna do, the only thing you have to do is pick a crystal, because each crystal needs energy. It's the truth. How we see it. All right.
I'll be right back.
So watch this.
How do you express yourself? And the best we can do on this evolution of life is be the most authentic.
Wait, where's mine?
Which you use.
Wait, I need this thing for my stream. Hold on, I'll be right back, okay?
He said, "I'll be right back," and he leaves, and he just never comes back. He
left it out there.
he said, I left my he said, I left my string. He escaped. So I don't know, his his discernment skills is on point. I know he be playing that character, but his discernment skills be on point.
Henry, come here. Henry. I think I forgot my shit. It's at the. Hold on.
What you forget?
Where my shit at?
What you looking for?
Mute.
He says, "Yo, mute the thing." So once he mutes the thing, he's like, "Nah, we getting out of here." You know what I mean? But shout out to Speed. Shout out to Speed here. That's I think that was so 2 times on stream, witches have tried to put their paws on Speed, try to basically try to drain his life force. You might not believe in witchcraft, and I get that, but people don't I don't think people understand when we say witchcraft, what it actually is, right? And what that woman wanted to do was to sap his energy. She wanted to drain his energy. That's why the first thing that she did when she came up to Speed was she wanted to hug him. You know what I mean? Anyway, that's a whole deeper discussion that we can have. Anyways, let's talk about some music. Let's talk about some music, because this is what I'm here for. This is what I'm here for. Let's talk about some music. Let's talk about some music, right? So obviously from the title, you see when I say top 10 artists that women are negatively influenced by. People talk about red flags, right? I've done shows on red flags, things to look for, but if she has a TikTok, if she has an Instagram, that's a red flag, etc. But many people overlook the music that your woman is listening to, right? If your girl is listening to a certain type of music, this is something as a man you need to keep an eye out on this. Now, I think I'm the perfect person to ask, because I have listened to these artists, right? I literally do this for a living. Certain artists give out certain messages. You need to be careful of what you're listening to. And I know, because obviously I can, like Deion Sanders say, I can stay focused, right? I can stay focused. I don't know why ninjas say it like that, but this is what they do, right? I can stay focused. I can separate the music from the artist. I can listen to somebody and be like, okay, he or she are saying this, but I'm just listening for the music. But if you listen to somebody, you become that person, right? You might not mean for it to happen, but you become what the artist is trying to portray. And a lot of times the artists, they're reciting somebody else's lyrics. But like I said, these are the 10 artists. Well, I'll say 10 groups of artists, because there's going to be some that are bunched in together. Because when people talk about, oh, this artist is bad, but this artist is not as bad, there's some artists that are basically the same type of people. and I'm gonna show you. But I'm gonna show you that top 10 list of artists that you got to watch out for if your girl is listening to this type of artist. And it could be a male or a female. It's gonna be men and women on that list. Right? Shout out to Ainsley tuning in. Shout out to Ainsley tuning in. By the way, that's one thing I got to do. Because Ainsley had asked me like I think last year to see Robert Glasper. So I gotta do that. I think he's back in New York soon too. So I gotta inquire about that. But let me show you something. Before I even show you my top 10 list. This is how you have to be careful of what you're listening to, right? You have to be very careful what you're listening to. I'm gonna have to give you guys a very visual example, right? What's the artist name? Serpent with feet. Okay. Okay. Let me give you an example. This is an artist right here. His name. This is a oh. Let me put the screen out right here. Right? This is a homosexual artist. This is an openly homosexual artist. His name is Serpent with Feet. Now, obviously, his name says it all. This is a guy who most likely dabbles in witchcraft himself, right? This is obviously a person, well, maybe not necessarily a devil worshiper in just outright, but a person that worships dark spirits, right? This is but like I said, this is a male artist who recently, as I'll say recently as last year, I will say, has started to kind of come up in the game, right? The reason why I bring him up, he already has caught the attention of many people in the industry. You're going to probably see more of him in the future, even though he's already, like what they say he's 37 years old. I did not know he was that old, right? As in for an artist, that's kind of old, right? 37 years old. But his music was getting a lot of replays on Sirius XM last year. Specifically, it was a song that he had specifically did, right? And a lot of people liked it. It was a lot of people that liked it, but they had no idea who this person was, even though it said it's like his name was literally called Serpent with Feet, right? So, but there was a lot of people feeling his music, but I was looking at the artist. I was like, whoa, what's his name? Serpent with Feet. What? I was like, what in the devil worship? And then I look him up. And the first thing when I looked him up on SoundCloud, the first thing I saw of this ninja was him kissing another man. That was the first thing I saw when I did the research of this man. I kid you not. I promise you, I'm not making this stuff up. When I first Google searched him, when I was like, oh, so who is this Serpent with Feet guy? The first thing I saw was him kissing another man. That's the first thing I saw from Serpent with Feet. And I'm like, what in the and then I showed the artist to a guitar friend I know. He looks up his lyrics of the song. And I was like, bruh. I can't. I was like, we can't. I was like, yo, we can't even do a. We not. I'm like, we not even finna do a cover of this song. This is crazy work. This is crazy work. I'm like, we ain't even gonna do a cover of the song. This is wild. This is wild. This is diabolical work, right? But I bring up that artist to say, a lot of artists are on that kind of time. We are going to have a Super Bowl halftime show with the artist basically the same as this, if not worse. What's his name? Bad Bunny. This is the nonsense that they're trying to spread, but you're able to spread the nonsense through your music. Your whatever propaganda or whatever agenda, you can get away with it if it's behind a catchy tune, a catchy beat, or an atmospheric type beat where it encapsulates you. You're attracted to the tone of the beat or the song. You know what I mean? Serpent with Feet would have gotten away with it if his name was not Serpent with Feet. His name could have just been Feet, and he could have been able to spread his nonsense without people catching on to who he was, because people started seeing who he was like, damn, this dude really out with his nonsense, right? So here this is where, because when I show you these artists, I'm gonna go in depth in explaining why, if you're listening, if your girl is listening to these kind of artists, it's a red flag, right? And mind you, Serpent with Feet, I remember when I was on tour, last year, and when I did a gig at the Blue Note, right? And I remember going past one of these big theaters, and I saw Serpent with Feet's name as one of the opening acts for one of these big time artists. I forgot the name, but he was gaining traction at one point, especially last year in 2024. But he was an interesting example because he's outright with it. So a lot of artists are on that same time, literal demon time as Serpent with Feet, but he's so out and open with it that most women or men, even if they like his music, they're not going to openly say they like his music because he's literally on demon time. He's on literal demon time. But the artists that I'm about to show you, they're on demon time as well, but they mask it very well. He's just obvious. Anyways, let's go through this list, right? Yep. Pyro said that's crazy work. His name don't make it any better. Yep. So guys like that, it's obvious. You know what I mean? It's obvious. So he's not gonna so low key, I kind of respect him for putting himself out there because he's already out the closet. He's already a openly, you know what I mean? Yeah, when you look at his music, it's pretty open on what kind of time he's on. You know what I mean? He's pretty open. Oh yeah, I forgot. He is from he is based in New York City. I forgot about that. He is based in New York City. So let me reveal to you an artist off rip that I'm about to show you. And some of the artists that I'm about to show you that are red flags, some of them are people that I actually like their music, but a red flag is a red flag, and you have to be careful. Okay. So let me bring them up because I want you to see their whole profile, their full profile, and see if you recognize some of these people, right? Make sure my zoom ins are all set. Yes, sir. Okay, I think I have everything all set. I think I have everything all set. Okay. Okay, let's start off. Aisley said, I hope Tyler the Creator isn't on this list. Close. But like I said, these are the artists that I'm about to show you are, if your girl is listening to this type of music or has a fond for that artist, you might not want to overlook it. And I will explain why with each single artist, right? It's something, and I'll say this about Tyler the Creator too. Hey man, because I know, because like I said, like the artists that I'm about to show you, I be listening to these artists. I be listening to these artists. I listen to Tyler the Creator. I listen to all these people. I listen to all these people. I'm just saying, if your girl is listening to this, or if your sister, right, you know, you might want to steer them off. Sir, I'm not saying Tyler the Creator. I'm talking about certain artists, you know, because there's certain messaging, because messaging, it downloads into you. Their emotions, their messaging, it downloads into you, and it turns into something. So people with what I just said, you should probably already know who's going to be number one on my list. But anyways, he said, Pyro said, the F you mean close is because it's somebody, when I say close, it's somebody affiliated with Tyler the Creator that is on this list. That's what when I mean close is somebody that's affiliated. All right. So let's start off with number 10. See if you guys know this artist. We got Tank at number 10, right? Now, Tank, I think Ainsley might know Tank, but Tank is a very popular Negro male singer, songwriter, producer extraordinaire. One of the most talented people in the game, to be quite honest with you. And I'll even say it like this. I would not be out here doing gigs if it wasn't for learning Tank's piano playing technique, right? Now, with that being said, most of Tank's music is him pandering, right? He had a hit song in the early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was the early 2000s. It's not late 90s. It was early 2000s. He had a song called Maybe I Deserve, right? It was a hit song, right? Maybe I Deserve. Yeah, 2001. And it's basically a cuck song. If you really look at the lyrics of the song, it's basically a cuck song. And most of Tank's music is him pandering to women, even including the alphabet people. He said a lot of suspect things lately, right? Tank, when you talking about the song, and I'm talking about ladies love the song. I'm talking about ladies, particularly black women. They love this song, Maybe I Deserve. And in the song Maybe I Deserve, it's about him because since he was unfaithful himself, and it's about him saying that maybe I deserve for my wife or my girl to do the same to me. And if you look at the lyrics or if you listen to the song, it's basically him describing him maybe deserving his wife to do him dirty when it comes to cheating, like he did to his like he did to his girl. And for some reason, women love the song. I'm talking about they love it, but it's basically a cuck song. It's basically a cuck's national anthem, but it's a song that gets played, replayed over and over and over again. And a lot of his songs are like that. A lot of his songs are like that. And I'll say this, a lot of these R&B ninjas, right? So let me take Tank off the list. Let me put it on me for a little bit. A lot of these R&B ninjas are the reason why ladies just think that ninjas is just supposed to be begging for bitches. When you look at Jodeci, I remember Jodeci has like a song. Baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, baby. That song. I'm blanking on the song. The first lyric of the song is this. It's been 2 hours since you've been gone. I can't take it, baby. Come back home. I can't live without you. This is literally the first 2 lines of the song. But this is what these 90s R&B ninjas, this is the culture that they ushered in. That begging ass culture. Right? Over church chords. This is what 90s R&B is all about. Ninjas begging, simping, basically over church progression, over church piano chords progressions. That's basically 90s R&B, right? So it's not just Tank. You know what I mean? It's not just Tank. It's really that whole R&B culture. We talk about Tyrese, Genuine, Mario, all these people. Well, Mario's early 2000s, but you know, the Jodeci, Boys to Men. Am I missing somebody? So any R&B's dude that Keith Sweat, R. Kelly, any R&B legend, or specifically of the 90s of that time, they did heavy damage, right? But I say this specifically, if you have a girl, and it's most likely you're going to be dealing with a black girl if you see Tank, right? So if you deal with a girls, but you know, because I don't think a whole lot of white girls is listening to Tank. But here's where I still put Tank on the list. Tank has written for many artists that you don't know about. He's produced for a lot of artists that you know about. The only person that doesn't have, the only person that's really produced, written, and sang more than Tank is R. Kelly. I'm talking about writing, producing, singing. Do you know how many tracks that Tank has done with Chris Brown? I'm talking about actual tracks where it's just Tank and Chris Brown, or Tank wrote a song for Chris Brown. Tank has written many songs for Chris Brown, actually. Produced many songs for Chris Brown. Tank has done a lot of. Tank has done work with what's her name? Summer Walker, SZA. People don't know this, but I'm telling. There's a lot of. Dude, I was talking with somebody that works with Sony. That he's signed to Sony. He does engineering for Sony, and I pointed out a song that he wanted me to do a he was helping my cousin with something with like a track or something, and he wanted me to recreate, I think, one of SZA songs or Summer Walker songs. I think it was Summer Walker. And I pointed out, I'm like, do you know who did the vocals on this track? Who's the dude that did the vocals? Because I heard something familiar there was something familiar I heard about it in the vocals. And I was like, that sounds like Tank. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that's Tank's background vocals right here. Did he write the song? A lot of the times the person that you see that's like the official writer of the song is not actually the writer of the song. And he said, oh, I didn't know Tank was even involved. I'm like, that's Tank's. I'm like, dude, I know Tank's background vocals when I hear it. And then he said he did his reconnaissance. He comes back to me. He's like, yo, I did not know Tank was involved in that song. It was one of Summer Walker's songs. I'm like, did they sample his voice? Nope. He was a full collaborator with that song. I don't want to put the song out there. But Tank has written for many people. The only person that has contributed more, I'm talking about in total, I'm talking about singing, producing, and songwriting. The only person that has contributed more is R. Kelly. I'm talking about with all the skills in total. So that's the one under, and I'll say this. Yeah, probably even more than R. Kelly, because Tank, he be performing. He sings and he performs, meaning he's playing the piano and he's singing a lot of the times when he's performing. So if you're dealing with a woman and she's probably listening to how about this? Let me put an artist out there. Sam Smith. You know who Sam Smith is, right? Sam Smith basically took Tank's whole style. Sam Smith, I don't know, people don't know who that is. Sam Smith, this is the gay male artist that is very famous singer. Like, that's one of the, when you talk about mainstream artists, you're talking about Sam Smith, right? Sam Smith, he basically took Tank's whole style. He sings exactly like Tank. He probably has hired Tank to help him. So just because your girl's white and Tank is a Negro R&B star, that has nothing to do with us. Oh, please. A lot of your favorite artists took these people's whole style. Listen to a Tank song and then listen to a Sam Smith song. And if Sam Smith says that he never listened to Tank in his life, he's lying like a muff. But I do find it interesting that a gay man was influenced by Tank's music. I do find that very interesting. But anyways, let's go to, so Tank was number 10, right? Now, people might disagree with me with number 9, right? Let me see if I can put it out there. Right? Let me put the banner up. Let me set up the banner. Let's hit up number 9. Okay. So number 9, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, Gorilla, Sexy Red. These are all the same people, right? So these people are really just one person, right? When you talk about Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Sexy Red, Ice Spice, right? Ainsley said, is Kali Uchis the culprit? I'll say this, Kali Uchis is an honorable mention. She's an honorable mention. I'm going to just leave it at that. She's an honorable mention. But you're not going to figure it out. You're not going to figure it out. You're not going to figure it out. You ain't going to figure it out. But Kali Uchis is an honorable mention. She's an honorable mention. But I'll say this: if your girl likes Kali Uchis, I'll say this: if you're a white dude and your white girlfriend like Kali Uchis, that's a problem. That means your girl like ninjas. So like if you're a ninja and you are in like a chick that's like from another race, that's like and she likes Kali Uchis, then that's not really a big deal. But if you're a white dude and you got like a white girlfriend or a Spanish girlfriend, or you already have, or the girl's black and she likes Kali Uchis, your pink slip is coming. But anyways, yep, all right there. Ainsley said all of them being number 9 together is perfect. Yep. These are all the same people. When you talking about like Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Sexy Red, Ice Spice, these are all the same people. These are plants. These are, and I really shouldn't even have to put these people on the list, but you already know people are gonna be like, what about Cardi B? What about Meg Thee Stallion? I mean, like, if your girl listening to these people, and I mean like taking what they're saying seriously. I mean, I shouldn't have to tell you that's a red flag. That should be a given. But I still got to put them on the list. But if I am going to put them on the list, they're going to be all together because they're all the same people. They're doing exactly the same thing. So I forget. So Ice Spice is in that mix. What's her name? Young Miami. Who else am I missing? Yeah, Young Miami, the City Girls, right? The City Girls. Do y'all remember what's that Twerk Team? Do y'all remember Twerk Team? Oh, what was it was a duo. It was these black twerking bitches. Their name was literally called Twerk Alert or Twerk Team. They was popping in like 2012 or 2013. Somebody give me the name of these people. I'm blanking on them. Because one half of that duo just recently passed away, like last year. I think the name was it was like, I think it was called Twerk Team or something. Twerk. Their name was literally the name of the duo of the females were called Twerk Team or Twerk Alert. It was either Twerk Alert or Twerk Team. Very ratchet, very ratchet. Let's see if I can look them up. Let me see if I can look them up. Twerk Team. Yeah, Twerk Team member killed. Like she was like shot. Yeah, their name was Twerk Team. Oh no, I'll maybe. Oh, what's it? Am I getting their name right? Yeah, it was Twerk Team. Hold on for a second, guys. I'm trying to search this up on the fly. I don't know who Nikki the OG is, but I'm pretty sure if I see her face, I might know who that is. Let me see if I can bring this up real quick. Let me see if I can bring this up. Twerk Team. Rappers. Twerk Team. Yeah. I hope I'm getting them right. Because their name was literally Twerk Team. Yeah, who were the members of Twerk Team? Miss Twerksome and Lady Luscious, yeah. But like one of them like got murdered. Twerk Team members, where are they now? Yeah, then the founding member, Jamie Moore, Betty Butt. She died in 2014. Oh. No, they convicted the other person that was part of it like recently or something like that. But yeah, these people, like, these are all the same people, right? These are all the same people, right? Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Sexy Red, that type of aggressive stripper slash empowerment slash ghetto trash slash whatever. Ice Spice, right? These people, Ice Spice, Sexy Red, same people. These are the same people, right? Same people. Let me edit the banner. Sorry, so let me edit that banner because I forgot to add Ice Spice, etc. Let me be fair here because I forgot to add her in. Ice Spice, any other of these type of people that you can remember. These Glorilla, right? You know, not like I'm not, because you'll see people like they'll talk about this stuff, right? And they'll be like, oh, you know, Cardi B's not as bad as her, but she's not. Well, Glorilla, at least Sexy Red, at least. These are all agents. They're doing the same exact thing. They might as well be one person. You know, when you have like what the six-headed monster, what's they call that? The six-headed the Hydra. you cut one head, two grows back, two heads grow back. That's what that is. You think you cancel one, you boycott one member of this group, and then you think you're okay, we're done with these type of people, and then two more people pop up, right? So Nikki the OG, I don't know who that is. Let me look her up. Nikki the OG. Nikki Justice, OG. Nikki, what's her name? Let me see. Yeah, like, bruh. Yeah, that's the same thing. That's the same thing. I'm just looking at her. I'm like, yeah, that's the same thing. But anyways, let's go to number 8. Right? Let's go to number 8. And people are not gonna like this one. People are not, I don't think, So 8 is another kind of grouped thing. It's another grouped one. Hold on for a sec. Here we go. What the? Hold on. And it's gonna be a singer from the late 90s that I'm putting up there. Very influential. Well, let me just mention the one person. Let me mention the one person, okay? I'm gonna just mention her and I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay? So right here, people gonna be mad at me because this person she passed away. She passed away tragically. Her career was cut short. Her career was cut short. So let me bring her up. We got Aaliyah, right? So I will say this, because I don't want to speak ill of the dead per se, but Aaliyah is kind of like heralded almost as like an angelic type of figure, but she was fast. if you know what I'm saying. She was fast. Now, obviously, her introduction in the game was allegedly via R. Kelly, where she allegedly got married to that ninja when she was 15, right? Allegedly. But Aaliyah was getting passed around already at 16, 17 years old by industry cats. When you talking about Jay-Z, Dame Dash, R. Kelly, right? And many other men. Timbaland, allegedly, right? If you have a girl that has somebody like this, specifically Aaliyah, right? That regards Aaliyah in such high regard, you might have to check that hoe. Only because she's gonna because Aaliyah is not necessarily just known for her singing or her voice, or she's mostly known not just necessarily for her songs, but her iconic look. That look that she has, right? This look right here. I don't know if I can zoom in. This look right here, right? The bandana up top, right? The hoop earrings, the kind of that homegirlish, the really pretty homegirl that you got that's like extremely pretty, but she dressed like one of the boys, but she's not a Tom girl. She got that kind of a look thing going on. There's a lot of Do you know how many Latino women have copied this look? Like, I'm not even trying to be funny here, but do you know how many Latino women have literally, like, to impress the cholo that they want to impress, they be trying to dress up like her. Many Latina women have tried to come up off of her style in terms of how she dressed, how she looked, right? Pyro said peed on plane crash. Aaliyah, I don't know if she got peed on by R. Kelly, but I don't know, maybe she probably did. God rest her soul. I don't want to put that on her. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened between her and R. Kelly, but they was together. That's all we know. And allegedly, according to many people in the industry, R. Kelly was messing with her and her mama. But that's a whole other story for another day. Now, I will say this. If you have a girl that I'm talking about really looks up to Aaliyah, so that's most likely going to be either a Latina chick, whether she knows it or not, or a black chick, maybe a white chick. But yeah, there's many. She has many white female fans as well. But if you have a girl that holds her up in high regard, she's probably going to be a person with a lot of male friends. That's what I'm that's what I'm going to say about Aaliyah. If you got a girl that listens to Aaliyah, that means she probably has a whole bunch of male friends and has a interesting past with all of them. Yep, Pyro says, now that you mentioned it, you're right. I see a lot of Latino women trying to get Latino dudes or black men, but specifically with that look, that look that I'm showing you, because that's what really she has a very iconic look about her that many women have tried to emulate. Let me see if I can get another visual. So right here, right? That look, it's a lot. I'm talking about, or Cambodian chicks that try to copy that look, right? A lot of the street adjacent Latino women have copied that look. It's an iconic look that Aaliyah has, right? the Tommy Hilfiger, right? She's very like her style is very influential because it's not really just the music with her. It's really just her essence, her look, her looks, right? Everything about her. Let me see if I can share. Can I share this tab? No, I can't. I don't think I can share this tab. I was gonna share like where she's with Tommy Hilfiger. Yep. Yeah, you see how they got these articles. Aaliyah's 90s fashion is back on trend. Shop her looks. Because Aaliyah had her own style that many people try to emulate, particularly when you're talking about young black chicks, young street adjacent chicks, young white chicks that try to dress like Latinas. They think like you got white chicks that try to dress like Latinas. They don't realize the Latinas is trying to dress like Aaliyah. It all connects. It all connects, right? Like we've all seen, her with the Tommy Hilfiger, right? This iconic picture with her with the Tommy Hilfiger, her with the two-piece, right? She was I'm saying like Aaliyah was very influential with her clothing. Very, very, very she pioneered a lot of that. She's a pioneer for a lot of that. A lot of that. Right? So if you got a girl, because Aaliyah does have some music, with the tank tops and the baggy pants with the bandana, very influential. That was Aaliyah. Aaliyah came up with that. Or whoever was in her PR team, whoever was in her media team at the time, they really pushed that with her. Okay. But like I said, when you look at Aaliyah's past, I'm talking about how she moved in the game. If you're dealing with a chick that listens to Aaliyah or holds her in high regard, sexually, she probably got down exactly like Aaliyah, how she got down. And anybody that does the research or anybody that has watched my channel, I've talked about how Aaliyah has gotten down. She was a pass around in the game, but you're not allowed to say that because she's dead, right? And in my opinion, I think she was deleted. I think she was taken out. I don't think that plane crash was no accident. I don't believe that. And there's someone on this list that I believe is behind that, but that's a whole other story that I'm about to show you. Okay. So now I had 8 Aaliyah. Now we're going to move on to 7. Now, if Ainsley is still listening, this is the Tyler. He is associated with Tyler, the Creator. He or she is associated with Tyler, the Creator. I kind of gave up the ghost right there. I kind of gave up the ghost right there. But anyways, I kind of gave up the ghost right there, but hey yo, man. So number 7. Let's see if Pyro said, don't tell me his name starts with the letter F. Well, now that you mentioned it, Frank Ocean, right? Frank Ocean. And for a matter of fact, if your girl is listening to any type of alternative lifestyle type of dude, that's suspect. Off rip, I'm talking about openly alternative lifestyle type of dude. That is suspect. Now, Frank Ocean makes great music. I'm talking about his music is good. He makes good music. Let's not get it twisted. He makes great music. AZ's like, damn, man. That's my guy. Look, Frank Ocean, when the album he dropped in, what's it, 2011 or 2010, Channel Orange, right? And then the album he dropped in 2016, Blonde. I hope I'm saying it right. These are some of the best albums, this generation has heard. Like he can legit, he can make a legit claim. Like those two albums is one of the best albums you'll hear. Out. I'm talking about. But like I said, the reason why I put Frank Ocean on this list is the confusion, right? So bear with me for a second. When you talk about Frank Ocean, his lyrics, especially in the beginning, people didn't know he was gay, but they would notice, like, I see a lot of male pronouns in some of these. He keeps on saying boy, and he's what's going on, and that was part of the lure of the mystery behind Frank Ocean, and how he started gaining a lot of traction as well, because people were really speculating on what he was or who he was going out with, and is he rainbow, is he not, until he officially just stepped out the closet. But he gained a lot of traction due to that confusion. So this is why I say this is a red flag. When you're dealing when you're dealing with an artist that puts stuff out there like that, this kind of subliminal type of things, this is not any artist that is ushering in confusion is something you gotta watch out for. And the girl that you have is going to be susceptible to that. And you don't want to have a girl that is, where I'm talking about confusion, is something that she gravitates to. So if you have a person that that gravitates to a Frank Ocean, sorry, not a person, a woman specifically, that gravitates towards his lyrics, to the stuff that he says, or any basically gay artist, that's something that you got to keep your eye on. And to me, that's something I'm like, oof. You might be dealing with a confused individual yourself if you're dealing with a woman that likes Frank Ocean. That's just that could be some of that is anecdotal. It is what it is. But there are certain people in this life, I pay attention to their playlists, and I keep seeing Channel Orange in these confused people's playlists. I keep seeing Blonde, right, in these confused people's playlists. I keep seeing other albums too as well. But these are trends. These are like, I be looking at like some of these girls that I've worked with, some of these people that I've slept with, right? I always notice on their songs, or I'll remember who they had on their MP3 and all these, and I'm like, why? I keep seeing a pattern here. There's something to this. And then when you really listen to Frank Ocean's lyrics, it's a lot of confusion, especially when I'm talking about when he first started gaining traction. That confusion of, is he gay? Is he straight? Why do I keep seeing male pronouns in his lyrics? That used to be a thing with Frank Ocean, where people was like, why do he keep saying baby boy and boy this? What's going on with this nigga? That was I swear that was a thing. Ainsley could attest to this. I don't know, maybe like when he was coming up, that was a thing. People really didn't know until he officially came out. So Ainsley said, I won't lie, Frank is the king of delusional girls. So I got an amen from Ainsley on that. And Frank, and like I said, Ainsley's he likes, when you're talking about the Odd Future type people, the people that came from the Odd Future family, right? When you talk about Tyler the Creator, Earl Sweatshirt, Domo Genesis, Haji Beats, is that his name? All these people, Sid from the internet, right? The lesbian chick, all these people from that particular gang, right? So he's a fan of those people. So he's well. So if that's coming from Ainsley, I'm on to something there. I'm on to something. And Frank, talented. I can't take away. I'm not like. So when I'm mentioning these artists, I'm not saying the person is a red flag. I'm not saying them as a person is a red flag. I'm just saying if you got a girl that's listening to the music, and when you pay attention to the lyrics that these people put out there, it does. Every hoe has their theme song, and these people that I showed you, these are artists that are part of the 304, the international 304 theme song. Every artist that I've laid out there has an influence or a part in the 304 theme song. Right? So this is something like, this is real stuff. So I'm not talking out of my ass here. I'm naming these people for a reason, even people that I have respect for musically. You saw I put Tank, and I told you I wouldn't be even doing piano without copying Tank's literal chords. That's literally what's been saving me. But anyways, it is what it is, right? Now, number 6 is going to be another group. It's going to be a group of 3 individuals, right? 3 individuals. Okay? 3 individuals. 3 individuals. Okay, about to share the tab with you right now. Right here, we got number 6, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and Nicki Minaj. Now, people might disagree with me when I say this, but these are all the same people as well. And this is why I say this. When you're dealing with these 3 individuals, they have cult-like fans, right? Where you got the Swifties with Taylor Swift. With Beyonce, you had the Beehive. With Nicki Minaj, you have literally the whole rainbow community as well, right? So when you're dealing with an artist or popular female artist like this, because they don't just have female friends, like fanatical female fans, they have fanatical rainbow fans, right? Now with Taylor Swift, it's not really rainbow fans per se, but she has her Swifties. She has a cult like following. When you look at Taylor Swift, she makes music for the basic white girls that think they deserve Chads. Beyonce and Nicki Minaj, they're tools of the elite. They're plants. Nicki Minaj, not really. She's realer than most. She's realer than most people give her credit for, but nevertheless, she still participated in the agenda, and she has a lot of rainbow influence as well, right? I'm talking about there were young boys. There are men right now who will tell you when they were younger, when they were boys, they were listening to Nicki Minaj's music, and that shaped them into what they became today. So this is very important when I bring up people like this. And they have like, and I'm talking about, you got these rainbow dudes that are loyal to Nicki Minaj or a Beyonce or, to the Beehive. And it's because they were listening to their music when they were kids. They'll tell you, like, you'll have rainbow dudes, they'll tell you, oh, the Transformer artist that I'm working with right now, he said Mariah Carey was his biggest influence when he was a boy. So this is not a coincidence, man. These things are this is not a coincidence. Now let's move on to number 5. So now when we get to all right, so when we get to these ones right here, this should be pretty self-explanatory in my opinion. These should be pretty self-explanatory, right? So number 5. This should be easy work, really, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Number 5. Why don't I have the tab up? Okay. Number 5, Erykah Badu. This should be pretty self-explanatory. If you're dealing with a chick that that is, I'm talking about, fan of Erykah Badu, not just Erykah Badu, Lady Gaga, these spiritual type chicks, she probably practices witchcraft. You should not be with a chick that practices witchcraft. But if she's a fan of Erykah Badu, she's probably practicing witchcraft. I can damn near that's almost like an 80% guarantee she's practicing witchcraft if she's a follower of Badu. And that could be black, white. Erykah Badu got all types of fans. So for all my white listeners that might be skipping over a lot of these artists, don't you missing the point of this stream, dog. You missing the point. First of all, many white artists take from black artists to become who they become. And these are just facts. That's not just me just talking out my ass. You're better off. I'm talking about if you're a white dude, if you find a girl that's really into, I'm not talking about country music, that's like into straight heavy death metal. Your chick actually might be the best out of all of them. If you got a girl that's listening to who's like a generic white star, like that everybody listen to, like Lana Del Rey, these Lady Gaga, all these, Katy Perry, these are these artists are fed everything. Their lyrics are given to them, their style is given to them. And by who? Is most likely going to be from a brown artist. So some of these people, you see a lot of brown, black artists, so you might not think, oh, this don't apply to my girl. Oh, it applies to your girl. It applies. Trust me, right? So Erykah Badu, number 5. Self-explanatory right there. Number 4 is somebody that I've been warning people about for a while now. I've been warning people for a while about her. And it's somebody that's very underrated in her influence. Very underrated influence. This chick right here, Jessie Reyes. Y'all might not know who Jessie Reyes is. Y'all might not know who that is, right? But please What if your chick is listening to Jessie Reyes, you're beat. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Right? And so when you talk about Jessie Reyes, that also includes, right, like, you know, Jasmine Sullivan, SZA. Because okay, right here, when you talk about SZA, Summer Walker, and all these people, right? SZA, Summer Walker, Jasmine Sullivan, these are part of the honorable mentions list. Jessie Reyes is low key that, but 10 times worse. She makes music for delusional side chicks. And that's no disrespect to Jessie Reyes. I think she makes decent music. She has some decent stuff out there. But I've been warning people around about her for a minute, particularly people in the space. If you got a girl that's listening to Jessie Reyes, your relationship, or how about this here? If you're sleeping with a chick that listens to her, you probably might need to stop sleeping with her. These are the type. You know that video where Bow Wow and that random girl, they was arguing on a TV show. When she was like, "You cheated on me," and he's like, "What? Cheated on you? I gotta be with you to cheat." And she's like, "We together," and he's like, "Huh?" This is the type of chicks that Jessie Reyes makes music for, right? Okay, that's easy work for me. Please watch. I don't think she's been given the proper, like, I don't think people have been talking about her enough. Because if you actually listen to her music and the stuff that she puts out there, you're like, oh, she's one of them type of chicks. So just watch out. She's recognizable because she got that you can tell she must have had like a unibrow growing up. No disrespect. I can kind of no disrespect. She probably had that like mad close type of, Anthony Davis situation type of thing growing up. So she has a very recognizable face. She has a very distinct she has a very like native face. Like you see how like I have a very African face. She has a very like native, like distinct. Oh man. Plus I know a girl that looks exactly like this. Low key. I ain't gonna say her name, but anyways. Oh Lord. Oh hell no. Okay. Something, an update just happened on my phone. Remember earlier in the stream I was talking about this trip. I don't know if I told. It was a trip that these artists they want to do a trip together. They want to go to a cabin, but I already know what that is. They trying to have an orgy or something, which I really want no parts of. But there's this chick who just joined the group chat of that trip, whatever, and the chick that just joined it, because I didn't confirm if I was gonna go or not, but now that she made it official that she's going, there's only 2 slots remaining. They're gonna get taken up just like that. Anyways, let's move on to number 3. I'm gonna just tell my boy, hey, I can't make the trip. The slots was taken, and we already know. But anyways, okay, number 3, Janae Aiko, right? Janae Aiko, very, very influential. Oh, I'm not even sharing the screen. Very influential. Very influential. She's definitely taking that number 3 spot. No contest. Anybody that's familiar with Janae Aiko should already know. I've said this a million times on my show. Janae Aiko makes music for women that gets their heart broken by drug dealers. I'm going to say it again. Janae Aiko makes music for women who gets their hearts broken, who got their heart broken by drug dealers. Just listen to her music. People know I'm not making this stuff up. And I'm pretty sure I don't even think I'm saying anything original with that. I don't even think I'm saying anything original with that. I'm pretty sure people have said this. I haven't even looked this up, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only individual that has said this about Janae Aiko. If you listen to her music, it's that. And then on top of that, so that's already number one. And then number two, if you're dealing with a woman that likes Janae Aiko, you're definitely dealing with I will say this, you are for sure. I'll say more than Erykah Badu, you are for sure dealing with a woman that practices witchcraft in some shape or form. She practices witchcraft. This cannot be debated. This cannot even be debated with me. Erykah Badu, you never know, because she does make, like, Erykah Badu does have great music. But if she follows Janae Aiko, she dabbles in a little, even if it's a little bit of it. She dabbles something that can't even be that cannot be debated. If she follows Janae Aiko, she dabbles in some type of witchcraft. That I could put money on that. So if she likes Janae Aiko, that's massive red flag. I remember there was a post where they were just saying, yeah, if your girl follows Janae Aiko or this other individual that I'm about to show you, she ain't ish. But then I remember it was another post that says specifically, it was a thread that said if she follows Janae Aiko, that is the biggest red flag. And it was all these bitches underneath saying, oh yeah, people don't like Janae Aiko fans because we're spiritual and we might put a hex. I'm like, what is wrong with these bitches? Y'all all basically admitting to being criminals and witches and all this stuff. What's wrong with y'all? I'm sitting there like, wow. I'm like, me personally, I'm just sitting there just like, wow. You know what I mean? So that can't even be debated. So that's all. I already said this on the channel, but specifically on the witchcraft facts. Okay, now number two. Right now, number two. You should already kind of know what number two is, because there's only a couple slots left. So people should already know what the top two is. It should be no debate. But number two, Kehlani, another artist of confusion. Her whole life is confusion. And same with Janae Aiko. I forgot to mention with Janae Aiko. Janae Aiko came into the industry a single mammy. Same with Kehlani, single mammy. You would have never thought it at first glance, especially with Janae Aiko. You would have never thought it at first glance, but single mammy. Kehlani, single mammy. And when you look at the decisions that she has made with her child, first of all, she openly decided to procreate with an openly gay man. That was her decision. So you already know this bitch don't know what she's doing. Number two, when you actually listen to her music, you know how we say Janae Aiko makes music for women that got their heart broken by drug dealers. Another chick, we said for delusional side chicks. Well, Kehlani makes music for all of them hoes. Any straggle or street adjacent bitch that you see that constantly are confused. I'll say it like this. You know how we talk about the Hannah Baker syndrome, right? It's either chat or bust. So with her, same thing. Same thing. A woman like this is going to do everything possible to avoid being with a normal man. So by the time you take charge of this, you're dealing with, by the time somebody like a Kalani comes to her senses, you're dealing with a complete a project that cannot be fixed. Like, and it can't be fixed. That's, and then on top of that, when you talk about when I be making fun of like the fake, self deletion bitches, the bitches that be acting like they finna self delete. That's one of the main people that Kalani be making music for, right? Those are just facts. Those are just facts. Okay. So right, went through most of the people on the list. Tank, right? Cardi B, all these people, Aaliyah, Frank Ocean, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, right? Erykah Badu, Janae Aiko, Jessie Reyes, Kalani. Let's do the honorable mentions, right? SZA, Summer Walker. But these are Jasmine Sullivan. These are things that should be already pretty obvious, though, right? Those are very obvious cases. Who else? Naomi Sharon, right? Thames, Billie Eilish, right? These are pretty obvious, but honorable mentions, right? I'm pretty sure if the average man sees any of those cuckoos on that list, they'll be like, oh, okay, right? Who else? I said Billie Eilish. Oh yeah. People like that. That's easy work, in my opinion. That's easy work. That's easy work. That's easy work. Right? Any other male artists I could be, before I mentioned the number one, any other artists that you guys would consider a red flag before I say the number one? And I could literally explain their music, how their music goes and all of that. Especially a lot of the female R&B stars now, they're just straight delusional. Oh, The Weeknd. Yes, The Weeknd. Yep, I agree. And the Weeknd, I have respect for The Weeknd. He's one of the few artists that I literally saw from like zero. Like I saw The Weeknd from the beginning. He was known as somebody else. He had a different name before The Weeknd. Right? He had a different name before The Weeknd. Right? So he's definitely a honorable mention. Another honorable mention. Let me put this out there. Let me put another honorable mention out there that I probably neglected. Sade, right? I don't know. That's a old like 80s. She's an 80s female R&B star that is very, very popular. Very popular. Sade. I hope I'm saying her name right. Sade. That's one. Sinead O'Connor. That's a 90s singer. A very she was a uber feminist, a very uber feminist. She was the Irish singer that passed away recently, in recent years. Sinead O'Connor, rest in peace. Those are some honorable mentions off the top of off the top. Her, yeah. But anyways, Yeah, Bad Bunny, these are things because remember when I mentioned Frank Ocean, I mentioned Serpent with Feet, right? All these people, these are like, that's obvious. If your girl is listening to any of that kind of stuff, or even the people in your family just in general, that's not a good thing. Okay. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anybody before I hit the number one. But people should kind of already know who I think the number one is. It is pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious. But let me bring it up. Here we go. It's pretty obvious. And Ainsley basically said it. It's Drake. Now, anybody that's watched me for a little bit should already know I've literally done whole shows about how Drake I've spent segments, hours talking about how Drake has the influence that he has on just the average female. People wondering why they going through what they going through with their girl. You could basically blame Drake for it. So for me, he's the clear-cut number one artist where if your girl is listening to this person, this being, your relationship, I'm sorry, it doesn't stand it don't stand a chance. A frog's chance in hell. That's what my English teacher used to say. A frog's chance in hell. A frog's chance in hell. Ain't no way your relationship not surviving if your girl's favorite artist is Drake. Or really any of his OVO affiliates, whoever's affiliated with that OVO crew. There's no way. When you look at the lyrics, first of all, most of these artists that I've showed you are influenced by Drake. Watch this. All these people, most of these, how about this? I'll say this. I'm pretty sure Cardi B, when she was stripping, had a whole Drake playlist. Meg Thee Stallion, probably a big Drake fan. Glorilla, Sexy Red, yeah, Sexy Red. She's definitely a Drake fan. Ice Spice, yes. And Aaliyah, that's interesting because Drake has this weird obsession with Aaliyah. So that's a whole nother story for another day. Like he has like a weird obsession with this broad who's been gone for a minute. Janae Aiko's definitely influenced by Drake. Jessie Reyes, of course, there's no contest. And Kalani, definitely. There's no doubt in my mind. If you looked up like the songs that they were downloading when they were kids, especially around the 2011 time, like, please. There's no way. Right? Like I said, when you look at most of Drake's music, Drake made the music where, or recited the music where the average stripper, the average OF girl, they think that they can find love and stuff. They can be an alternative, like women that listen to Drake, that swear by Drake, right? They think they can live an alternative lifestyle. They can be a spicy film content star. They can be a stripper. They can be a bottle service girl. They can be a video vixen and still find the love of their life. A rich millionaire that will still accept them for who they are. It's because of Drake or people that was doing, and T-Pain, he's part of that. He was doing that nonsense as well. But Drake is one of the main people. That's the reason why women are as delusional as they are right now. They think they could just be single moms and just they don't see the negative. Drake is part of that. Trust me. Ainsley said part of it is because of Drake's hunger of wanting to stay relevant forever. And it's interesting when I started talking about Mr. Aubrey Graham, my internet started messing up. That's some interesting stuff. Oh yeah, let's not forget Mr. Aubrey Graham is a small hat. He's a small hat. Let's remember this. This is he is part of that tribe. So let's not forget. When you talk about the king panderer, what stripper? What bottle service girl? What girl that work in nightlife? Who else are they going to listen to? And if it's not Drake, then it's probably Party Next Door. If it's not Party Next Door, somebody affiliated to Drake. What? No contest, number one. And by the way, when Ainsley talks about, the hunger of wanting to stay relevant, unfortunately, when you're dealing in the industry or just songwriting in general, the object for most songwriters or song producers is to pander to the female ear. Most bands, they're always trying to tap into what? The female fan base. They always say this. They're not trying. You'll never hear an artist talking about, I'm trying to tap into the male fan base, the average man. Maybe with some white country songs, maybe, but for the most part, they're not trying to tap into the average man. They're trying to tap into the female fan base. This is what it is. So the female fan base is what the average band, like when you have if you got a band that wants to play, they want to but they always want, okay, what are the women like? What's going to get the women on the dance floor? This is why when I say when you dealing with music, this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. It's always about placating to the female ear. This is what it's all about. And the only time they really were trying to, specific, especially when you're talking about black men, the only time they try to placate to the black man's ear is if they're trying to sell that pro black power shit ish, or they're trying to sell that street ninja-ism. That's the only time they try to placate to the male ear, and that's still not the average black man or the average man in and of itself. Right. So, sorry, I'm keeping my eye on this because the Corey Holcomb show is about to start. So when it starts, like obviously, because he's gonna be late. He's because I expected him to be late. That's why I thought I could sneak in the stream. But when it starts, I'm gonna be like, hey, peace. That's why I was trying to zoom in through this list. But like I said, 10 like my top 10, because it doesn't even have to really be in order, right? But let's go over it again. Yeah, number 10, Tank. 9, Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Glorilla, Sexy Red, Ice Spice, etc. They're all the same people. 8, Aaliyah. 7, Frank Ocean. 6, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj. Same people, same cult. They have a cult-like fan base. Oh, wrong number 5. Number 5, Erykah Badu. What the fuck? My bad. 5, Erykah Badu. 4, Jessie Reyes. 3, Janae Aiko. Kalani number 2. And Drake number 1. Another honorable mention that I forgot to mention. So when I was talking about Aaliyah earlier, right? As the number 8. Let me give you a very interesting honorable mention. Let me give you an interesting one. Okay, we got Lisa Lopez, Lisa Left Eye Lopez from TLC, right? From the legendary group TLC. Rest in peace. She passed away in 2002 in a car accident, which I don't believe was normal. I think she was eliminated. That's just my opinion. But if you got a girl that looks up to her, specifically Lisa Left Eye Lopez, specifically her, you're dealing with a crazy bitch. For real. I'm talking about crazy bitch for real. A girl that's gonna slash your tires off of a rumor, right? Rihanna, that's another honorable mention. Rihanna makes music for women that be cheating on they dude, but start arguing with their dude when they when the waitress is talking to when the pretty waitress is talking to her man too long, that she's gonna have something to say. Meanwhile, she's cheating herself. That's the type of people. That's the type of woman Rihanna makes music for. Insecure bitches that be cheating on their boys. That's the music that Rihanna. That's the type of people that Rihanna placates her music to. Okay, so those are facts. Those are bars. Those are bars, and those are facts.
Facts. Facts. Facts.
But yeah, that's my top 10. But yeah, I feel like I'm missing. I feel like I'm still missing a lot of artists. Right. I feel like I'm still missing a lot of artists. And like I said, like let me give you some real ish, because I see there's 3 people so far. So, and people might catch this on the replay. I'm gonna show you the artists that I actually like personally in this list, right? Tank, Aaliyah, Frank Ocean, believe it or not. Like I said, Frank Ocean's music, his talent can't be denied. It is what it is. I can't deny his talent. Janae Aiko makes great music. Jessie Reyes is an interesting character. She makes good music. Right? Kalani, I know my cousin loves her a lot. So it is what it is. But I'll say this, yeah, Kalani got a lot of dudes that be crushing over her, because she got that. Kalani got that look, if you know what I mean. Let me see if I can bring. Kalani got that look that particularly like dark dark skinned ninjas be loving bitches that look like this, dog. Hold on, I'm about to show you. I keep telling you, dark skinned ninjas be funny. They will never admit, but they be simping over bitches that look like this. Ninjas be sipping. I'm talking about dying. Almost, yeah. Be willing to like literally throw away their life for chicks like this. You know, the running joke is always, oh, you know, black dudes and overweight white chicks. No, when you see a black dude with an overweight white chick, right? It's because she has a place to stay, and his money is not where it needs to be. Or if he's older and he's with a white woman, it's because that's just like his bottom bitch, right? And he had to reward her loyalty, right? But Kalani, she's got that look. This is the type, for some reason, ninjas love bitches that look like this. I've said this, you know, many times. Let me give you another example, because like I remember when I showed you. Let me see if I can bring up that picture of Tyrese's girl, right? Or Travis Hunter's girl, right? Or let me see. Like, I don't know what, dark skinned ninjas love girls that look like this. And it don't matter if she got mad tattoos. It don't even matter if she's a little bit pudgy. They be like, this is the type of girls that dark skinned ninjas will be doing anything for. Right? It's like what Cat Williams said, a weird looking light skinned chick that they be giving these Negroes, right? That should be funny to me, but it's true. It's true. You know, it's true. But yeah, Kalani, she got that look that hood ninjas love bitches that look like this. They love bitches like this. It's even, and if she's tatted up like this, even better. Believe it or not. If she's tatted up, okay, watch this look right here. What? Let me see if I can share the tab. This look right here? Are you kidding me? This look right here? Man. What ninjas, they be loving bitches like that, dog. I'm talking about love. Like straight up die for her love. Yeah, but you know, Pyro says, I hate the tattoo so much. It's just like, but like I said, you know, ninjas, they have weird standards, and then you'll have these dudes, they'd be like, oh nah, the tattoos make her look sexy. But I'm like, man, these tattoos, I don't know, they be making these bitches look like pirates. All right, Corey Holcomb's on right now. I gotta sign off. 5150 show just started right now. Shout out to the 5150 show for putting me on this education, putting me on this game. Oh, so I did do the music stream. So this was it. The next stream, I did say I wasn't gonna do the David stream, but I might have to do that. I was gonna sneak it in, but I'm gonna have to do it another time. But shout out to you guys. Thank you. It's been real. Sorry, Ainsley, for putting your boy Frank Ocean, your boy, because I know those are your guys. You know, Tyler the Creator. Those, I'm not trying to diss these guys because I love those guys too. But I love those guys too. Trust me. Great memories of them. You know, freestyling and all this stuff. Frank Ocean. People don't remember. Frank Ocean can rap. People might not know this. Frank Ocean can rap. So shout out to these guys. Shout out to the music game. All these people, I wouldn't mind making music with them anyways, you know. Probably outside of Kalani, because I don't trust her as a person, but you know, it is what it is. Or Jesse Reyes. Yeah, I don't know. But shout out to you guys. It's been real. I'm gonna have to sign off. Corey Holcomb 5150 show just started. I will end this stream with Dr. Umar Johnson. Shout out to you guys.
Donations. 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 donations, gifts, 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 more gifts, more gifts.